Buongiorno, everybody. Welcome back to my kitchen. It's Dorina's Kitchen, live at 11-ish. We're here today, just like we are every day, really truly for one main reason. Sure, I teach you guys how to cook, do a recipe, give you a kitchen tip, but the whole purpose of all of this is to bring you back to the table, encourage you, incite you, excite you to get your family to sit down and eat at the table. At the table. A tavola. I was thinking in Italian and English, so I said tavola instead of table and tavola. Anyway, so a tavola means at table, at the table, and that's where we should always eat. Now, sometimes it's a nice meal that we're all going to sit down and have together, and sometimes it's a not too sickeningly sweet dessert that is a treat. But you know what? Dinner gets you to the table, dessert keeps you at the table. So today, I've got a nice dessert for you, and it's all because it's National Carrot Cake Day, so who am I to go against what it is? You know, it's National Carrot Cake Day. So I'm going to be teaching you today my carrot cake recipe that is my personal secret. I have a little trick that I do that I swear makes my carrot cake better than anybody else's. So it will keep you at the table longer because you're gonna have 2 slices. So anyway, most carrot cake recipes, and believe me, I've researched this. I've read a gajillion carrot cake recipes. They all call for way too much sugar. Most of the recipes are very similar. It's who adds some coconut, who adds some applesauce. I got something better. Carrots. Imagine that, but wait till you see how I do it. All right, so we're gonna start with all your simple basics. I've got 2 cups of flour, and this is a great recipe because it doesn't have butter in it, it has oil, and so you can mix this with a spoon real easy. You don't have to get the mixer out, even though I do love my mixer. So, like I said, most carrot cake recipes call for 2 cups of sugar. Now you've got 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar. That's not a great ratio. I put in 1 cup. You can put in 1 cup of white sugar. You can do it half and half with white and dark. And brown sugar does give it another little flavor. A lot of people use dark sugar to give it more moisture. But wait till you see my tip coming up. So don't go anywhere. So I only put in 1 cup of sugar. This is my organic white sugar, so it's kind of tan. So I guess in a way it's kind of like half white, half dark. Anyway, all right. So I've got my flour and my sugar, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar. Now we're gonna put in our baking powder and our baking soda. Some recipes call for one or the other. I do a little of both. So we're gonna put 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And that's kind of my thing. Usually approximately 1 teaspoon per cup of flour. So there's 1 and there's 2. But we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. But don't overdo the soda because that has a yuckier flavor sometimes if you overdo it. Okay, so baking powder, baking soda. We're just gonna stir this around a little. We're gonna get 1 teaspoon of salt. Mine's pink. It's really pretty. All right. And now, actually, I'm gonna get my whisk because this is what I like to do. We're going to put in 4 eggs, and then actually, no, let's do the spices first. There's really no major order you have to do this in. So everybody puts cinnamon in their carrot cake. So, and usually they call for about, anywhere from 1 to 2 teaspoons. I do a good heavy teaspoon. So it's probably, usually just kind of shake it in, whatever. Can't really, it's hard to overdo the cinnamon. Gotta love cinnamon. And it's really good for you too, All right, so we're gonna put in what would be equivalent to about anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of the rest of these, except for the cloves. So this is ginger. I'm gonna throw in some ginger, probably about 1/2 teaspoon. I've got now cloves are very strong, so we're only gonna put in, and this one I'm actually gonna use a measuring scoop. We're gonna only put in 1/4 teaspoon of cloves because they're strong. Little bit of allspice. Not a lot of people use the allspice, but I like it. And then my favorite, let's see what I miss. ginger, allspice, okay, cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. Nutmeg's my besides cinnamon, favorite. So I like the actual nuts, they're the best. My little grater. Oops, dropped it in there. See, it's a good thing I didn't do the wet stuff yet. So it was about a third of a nut, probably about between a quarter and a half a teaspoon. Okay, so there's all our little spices. And you know, you can overdo the spice, you definitely can. So just gently, but I think it's such a nice mix. You can smell it already. All right, so now we're gonna add 4 eggs. So cracking our 4 eggs. 1, 2, make sure there's no shell. Was there a piece of shell? No, piece of flour on the bottom of the cup. 3 and 4. Okay. Now, the all-important. Let's get these babies mixed in here with our olive. Now, this is oil, 1 cup of oil, and it's, you know, you can use any oil. I recommend, I use plain olive oil or sunflower oil. You can use grapeseed oil. Just don't use vegetable oil. It's really yucky. Okay. Getting this all nice and mixed. You can smell the spices. It smells so good. But I bet you're wondering what this is. My contraption. Well, guess what? This is my juicer. So some people will shred their carrots on a box grater, you know, or they will put them in through their food processor on the grater thing. And years and years ago, I'm just cutting the ends off, I used my juicer. We're talking like 25, 30 years, actually maybe like 30 years ago. And I used my juicer because I had all this pulp, and I'm like, I'm gonna make carrot cake. And then what I did was, I had this pulp that I had sucked all the juice out of. Well, what to do with that juice? But of course I could drink it. But I separated the juice from the pulp, and then I put them both in. So it's the same stuff, the same, you know, ingredients. So, oops, sorry, I did that one. That I put in by shredding them. But let me tell you, okay, hang tight. We're gonna juice a few carrots here. Woo. Okay, so this is where my carrot cake, okay, come on, come to a stop. There we go. This is where my carrot cake is different from everybody else's. There's a lot of good carrot cake recipes out there, aside from I think they're all too sweet. But now we have to do what's really important. Look at this, we've got this beautiful carrot juice. In here is carrot pulp. Now, you do have to be a little careful because sometimes in here you'll get one, oh, this is pretty good, actually. You'll get a chunk. Occasionally you'll get a chunk like this. You can just take them out, or you can chop them up and add them into the cake. Okay, so what we want is approximately 3 cups. Usually your average recipe calls for 3 cups of shredded carrots. We're going to do that, but we're also going to, there's another piece. So there's 1. And this may or may not, this was about, I think I did like 12 carrots. Okay, 2. And oh, this comes out to probably a little more than 3 cups. I may just throw it all in. What the heck? Okay. So I've got 3 cups of shredded. Now this is finely shredded though, so if you do like the bigger pieces in your carrot cake, then by all means take 1 carrot, leave 1 out or something, and shred it so you have those little specks of orange, because this is a really finely, finely shredded. This is really pulverized carrot, but it still gives you the fiber, so it still gives you the health benefit of having a carrot cake, because it does have some healthiness to it. Here's the key. Now, even though we've actually officially put in all the liquid that we're going to put in here, we've got all this extra dry pulp. So we're just going to put in a cup of carrot juice. Look at that. And I mean, you can put, I've put more and I've put less. Today I'm going to try to keep it to a nice recipe here. Oh man. And you know what? I just may go ahead and add the rest of that. You really can't go wrong with this. Although I might keep a sip to drink. I love carrot juice. If you want to make some really good carrot juice, you mix a bunch of carrots and then throw in 1 apple. So yummy. Now, the other ingredients that most people put in a carrot cake, look how much orange, look how orange this batter is. It's really, make sure I get it all mixed. Yeah, you know what the heck. So it was like, I actually just put in 1.5 cups. You can try it different ways. And just because we're right here right now, just so I can show you, I'm just going to make two little muffins. Whoop. 2 little baby cakes here. I'm going to throw those in the oven while we're getting everything ready, because this just may be done and I can show you a little one. So this is really yummy. So now I'm using a springform. You can use any pan you want. This is enough to make 2 beautiful 9-inch layers. And then you can put a cream cheese frosting in between. I have a bigger one right now I'm going to use. I'm going to make 1 layer. I'm going to probably cut it in half and put my layers in, but it depends on how you like to do it. If you do it in 2 smaller pans, it's so much easier to maneuver. If you have a good knife, a cake knife like I do, it's easy to cut it in half. But I use my springform and I put parchment paper in the bottom. It just makes it easier coming off. I'm just going to oil. I guess it would help if I pump my pump a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to do the sides. And we're going to do on the parchment paper as well. And I'm just going to do that. Off the apron. Okay. And here we go. Oh, we're going to pour this beautiful batter in here. Come on. No matter how nicely you make a carrot cake, they never come out this orange. And I'm purposely not using my rubber spatula because I'm going to enjoy doing a little scrape of this myself afterwards. Give me a little taste. So I'm going to, oh, nice and perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, I knew I forgot something. What I was going to say before is that some people like to add nuts to their carrot cake. Some people like to add raisins. Actually, I like raisins and I almost forgot to put them in. So I'm going to just take some raisins, make sure they're not stuck together. I'm going to sprinkle them around. And you know what else I really like? I think you guys know from other recipes. I really love golden raisins. So I'm going to do this. Yeah, I know. This is me doing stuff so I don't forget at the end. And I'm going to take my little wooden spoon here and I'm just going to mix this into the batter. See, no matter what you do, and no matter how much you cook every single day like me, you're still gonna forget something here and there. But guess what? Food is forgiving. It's not forgiving to my body, but you know. All right, so I've got some raisins in here. I'm not in a nut mood, so I'm not putting nuts in here, but walnuts, chopped up pieces of almonds, pine nuts even, anything's good in here. You could also do like, if you wanted like sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, you know, you can, all right. Get this nice and smooth. Okay, now you see the raisins in it. It's so pretty. Okay. And those little ones are actually already poofed up and growing. Oops, I got raisins all over them. Yum. So, that is my secret recipe. And that is truly something that I created, and you too have the ability to create recipes in your house. You know, you might want to put chocolate chips in there. That makes it your recipe, because I wouldn't put chocolate chips in it, but you might. Actually, probably be pretty good. And then you can chew on raisins and get them stuck in your teeth, you know? So you can put in any kind of nuts. You can put in, like I said, I've seen where you can throw in coconut. It's not the recipe exactly, except any recipe you see, I can guarantee you they all say 2 cups of sugar. We just put, carrots are put in tomato sauce to make it sweet. Carrots are put in a lot of dishes to make them sweet. There's a lot of natural sugar in carrot. And especially when you separate it out like this and you put put it in juice and pulp form, it's definitely got that sweetness throughout the cake. So cut any recipe you find that you want to use. If you don't want to use mine, cut the sugar in half. 1 cup is all you need for an entire big cake. Honestly, it's plenty. But separate, if you have a juicer, separate the pulp from the juice and put them in separately. Oh, what a difference it makes. And this is my little, I'm copywriting this right now. I've never seen it done anywhere. I did this by accident. Like I said, like 30 years ago, it was a fluke. I said, what the heck, let me throw them in separate. And boom, that created my recipe that no one has ever been able to copy. And this is the first time I'm sharing it with anybody. Only my few closest people around me know what I do with my carrot cake. So I do urge you to check that out. And again, all these spices I put in, some people just use cinnamon. You can mix and match, you can play with that. I definitely say put cinnamon in. But as far as the nutmeg, cloves, allspice, and ginger, put in what you want or don't put them in at all. You know, it's definitely a plus. In fact, some recipes call for vanilla, some don't. Sometimes I put it in, sometimes I don't. I don't think I did today. I think I forgot, but it's here. But you can use it or not use it because there's so much other flavor in there that it doesn't really necessarily need it. So it's all up to you. So my cake is all done and it's cooled down now. Look at it, it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna show you how nice looking it is. Whoop. Look at this. Put that aside. And here's my beautiful cake. Now, because I've got the parchment paper underneath, it's going to come off of here very nicely. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the frosting, then I'm going to show you how we're going to put it on here. All right, so what I have here is 1 package, 8 ounces of cream cheese. I've let it come to room temperature. I love cream cheese frosting. In fact, I'm going to tell you now that on almost all my buttercreams, I sneak in some cream cheese. And everybody always wants to know why my buttercream is so good. That's why. It's not a full-blown cream cheese, you know, icing. That's got lots of butter in it too. But 1 stick of butter. So we have 1 package of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter. This will be plenty because I'm not doing a big decorating thing. Just start that to cream a little. Now I have 3 cups of powdered sugar in here. We'll see how much of it we need. There's a lot of different recipes for a cream cheese frosting. You can use 1 thing of cream cheese and 2 things of butter. I like more cream cheese to butter. And then I've seen everything from 2 cups to 3 cups to 4 cups of sugar put into that same amount. You can also add, if you feel it's a little dry, you can add a little bit of heavy cream. I have this little bit, so I might use it up, but we'll see. We'll play with it. You make it the consistency that you like. Recipes or suggestions, make it the way you like it. So I'm going to do this. I have my nice guard on here so it doesn't go all over me. Otherwise my black aprons get all white. Now see, I like it a little softer and smoother. I put in a little heavy cream. I love heavy cream. And then we'll go ahead and finish putting this in. Boom. It's like music. Slowly let it go down. Hold on, let me get a spatula. Almost couldn't find my little one. Okay, take this off. Let's see. First thing I'm going to do before I completely take this off is make sure it's all scraped and everything has been blended in. Get all my sides off. Yum. It's good just like that. I'm gonna put one little drop, just a little, like half a teaspoon of vanilla. Just a drop. It's honestly just the cream cheese flavor by itself with the butter and the sugar is enough. Okay, so take this off. And we'll get all this off. You know, you gotta get all the frosting off. Now there's no kids around. Otherwise, you know what would happen with this, right? I guess I'm gonna have to just take care of it myself. It's gonna stay over here for right now. I know if I was to do that on camera, my kids would have a fit. All right. So I've got this beautiful, and I like it a little soft. If you're gonna decorate, because I do sometimes make a really pretty carrot cake, and I'll make little orange carrots on top and stuff like that. If you're gonna do something like that, make it just a little firmer, so just add a little more sugar so that it holds its shape. So now, here's what we're gonna do. This is just for us today, so I'm making it really simple. On another time, I'll show you, I'll get the bags out and show you all the decorations. But this is more about making this and putting this together so that we can enjoy it. So actually, first thing I'm gonna do is, since it's nice and cooled off, not nice and firm, I'm just taking a look at how beautiful this came out. I'm just gonna put that right on there. I love the cake stand. It just makes me happy. All right, now I could have done this before or after, but some people will try to cut their cake in half. I am gonna cut this and put some in the middle with the bread knife, but see, this is not as long as the cake. But this is, that's not a knife. This is a knife. This is actually a cake knife. So of course, I make lots of cakes. I have one. So this is plenty long so I can get all the way through without, messing it all up. All right, hold on. Let's put the glasses on, make sure I'm doing this right. Smack in the middle. So I'm gonna get in the middle of the cake and just go straight across. Like I said, if you had two, of your standard 9-inch cake pans, then you could have done 2 cakes and just put them on top of each other. That's just for security there. Now, I'm going to use this. I'm just going to slide this back onto here. Look at that, it's so beautiful, and look at all the raisins on the inside. Woohoo! Makes me so happy. I know you guys might think I'm a little bit of a dork, but there's simple things in life make me happy. Oh, I'm getting it all over. Look at me. Yum. Okay, these little offset spatulas are the best. This is Pampered Chef, by the way. Okay, so I'm just going to spread this around the middle. Just enough. No, I'm not going to make it too thick. Now I'm going to slide this back on, hopefully in the right spot. I think this side's Now I'm just going to flip it back on. There we go. Look at that. Actually, I think I put it back exactly where it came off. That's pretty good. There's little pieces of icing floating around over here. Okay. So now I'm just going to take the last of this and put it on top. Oh, maybe that's, honestly, I probably don't even need that much, but we'll see. I might have to make something else to use that on. So you can do this all the way around the sides. You can just do the top layer, which I think is all I'm going to do today. We're doing our job. It's National Carrot Cake Day. Making some frosting here. Oh, I might have to use it all. Okay. I love when they're kind of like unfinished here on the sides and like the icing hangs over a little bit. I don't know, it just like gives me this beautiful like icing dripping kind of feeling. Okay, there we go. And you can do, in the 50s and stuff, I remember looking at old-fashioned cake and they would do these like little designs across the top in the icing, Actually, that's kind of pretty. You got a little zigzag design here. I'm going to make sure I hold this so it doesn't slip. But anyway, this is a beautiful little dessert that was made very quickly. The recipe for the carrot cake was easy. This frosting took 2 minutes. So I hope that you'll enjoy this. Put this kind of frosting on any kind of cake. Another day I'll show you how to make the little carrots. I'll make some muffins or something. I'll show you how to make little carrots, make a little orange frosting. I'll show you that on another video. But today, at least we made some frosting. We iced our carrot cake for the day, and we're done. So bring it to your table, stay at the table, talk a lot, love a lot. Have a great day. Mwah. Ciao.